Welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Spring Garden. I'm in Zone 6B and it is spring, second week of spring to be exact. And as you can see, I have laid out my garden for the spring and summer. And this year, I am going to encourage you guys to grow something different. I know you're going to grow the staples. You're going to grow the normal tomatoes and squash and cucumbers, but maybe you can also try something a little different. This is my nephew's little patch, and in a couple of days, well, I'm waiting for the Alpine Strawberries. They're different than the regular strawberries. They're a little bit smaller, but they produce all summer long. So those are going to go on the front, and I'm going to plant some lettuce. Well, we're going to do it together. We're going to plant lettuce in the back. So that's number one on our little tour. This is what I gave you a preview of a few seconds ago. In the top right hand over there is cucumbers. See if I can get you a better look at the cucumbers. I grow cucumbers in this area every year. I probably should rotate, but summer before last, I got 67 cucumbers just from this one area here. And in this area here, I'm going to plant, this is broccoli, but it's purple broccoli. So again, something a little bit different. I don't know why this is not coming into focus, but trust me, it's purple broccoli. And over here, keeping with the purple theme, is purple cabbage. So you're going to have the cabbage here, the broccoli here, cucumbers there, and the strawberries over there. And next we're going to come over to this area. This tree, I let it die. I'm taking it out so that I can plant here, as well as all the way down there where you can see their potatoes. Let me walk around here. Now you can get a better look. So my potatoes came about a week ago. These are Yukon Golds. These are Purple Majesties. These are more Yukon Golds. And these are my red seed potatoes, which I'm also going to put potatoes here. And I have a patch, my what I call my Rustic Garden. I'm going to put the rest of the potatoes. There's no way I'm going to put all these potatoes in here. This is just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to put maybe a third of the potatoes in here. Now, my trellis is up. This is my homemade trellis that I use the bread ties on. And this was, for those of you who missed the other video, this was used to house the air conditioning units out in the back of your house. These were the screens for that. So I'm going to plant Llama Beans for the first time. So again, something else different. And peas. So those will grow, and they'll grow up the trellis. And it is still early. As I said, it's early spring. So probably around June, late June, early July, I will plant something else in this area. Moving on to over here. So glad the wind is not blowing today. I can show you. These are some of the seeds that will go in my larger pots or my containers. And those have not been cleaned out yet. A lot of what you see in my garden is a work in progress. I'm still getting stuff cleaned out, still getting stuff cleaned up. And these peppers are a perfect example of that. These peppers obviously cannot stay in this container. This is a starter container. Now, the onions and the carrots will stay. These are deep enough that I can keep those in these containers. I've done this many times. So the carrots and the onions will stay. The peppers will not once they germinate. The pumpkins, for example, won't even be planted until the fall. But the cantaloupe and squash, some of this will replace some of the other things that I'm showing you now. And some, like the eggplant and the tomatoes and the Cherokee purple, which is also new, that is going to go into some of the large containers that I have. Now, I said basically to you guys that I'm going to try a lot of different things this summer, and I hope you guys are inspired to do the same. This whole row here, all this has to be redone with the exception of this. These are strawberries from last year, but all this, you can see this is all crappy. I'm going to have to sift out all the bad stuff and redo this and add nutrients and so forth. And same thing with the other side. But I have a surprise for you guys for the middle, which I'm saving for last. Wait till you see what I'm going to plant in here. At any rate, this side of my raised crate island is going to be basically herbal, medicinal, and teas and things that you can use in the kitchen. Lemon balm, rosemary, chamomile, lemon basil, lavender, dill. Those seeds, I'm going to try to do one per container on this side. Last year, I grew something else on this side, and let's not forget, this is one of 2 containers that I have to rework again. Just keep in mind, this is early spring, so a lot of things aren't completed yet, but this is going to be for sweet potatoes. I have a couple of things working over here. These are the elephant garlic from last year, and onto this side, back to the beans again. Every year I plant beans over here, but this year, again, it's going to be a little different because I'm going to plant 3 types of beans. I've never grown these type of beans before, but I have grown the burgundy beans and the standard garden beans. I believe these are bush beans. Again, I'm going to put them in separate containers and pray for the best, because I have deer, and sometimes the deer decide they want to have beans. So I'm going to probably have to cover these up. Now, over here is a hot mess. This is my Rustic Garden. Basically, what I'm trying to do is kill the weeds. I'm getting impatient. I don't want to wait 5 or 6 weeks. So I'm probably going to just take this off, rip everything out, and then go from there. So this is definitely where the rest of the potatoes are going to go. So the potatoes you saw on the other side in those containers, in those large pots, are going to be split up and put over here. Now, I'm just about to the end. Told you guys I wouldn't keep you long, but I forgot to bring what I wanted to show you that is going to go in these 4 bins. So I'll just tell you. The first thing I have to do is fill these. There's not enough soil in here to do what I want to do, which is to grow sorghum. Sorghum is used as a sweetener. A lot of companies are now using it in place of sugar, and it gets pretty tall. That's the reason why I decided to plant it here, because when it grows up, it will be too tall for the deer to reach. Now, I like to companion plant, and I do that because I have a small garden. So with the sorghum, I'm going to plant something else that I think is going to surprise a lot of people. I saved the best for last, and that is going to be peanuts. I've always wanted to try my hand at planting peanuts. I've never really given it a shot before, so I decided this year, why not? So it's going to be sorghum and peanuts in these 4 bins here. So quite a bit as usual, but quite a bit new as not per usual. So even though some of these are familiar in my garden, the peanuts are new. Some of the beans are going to be new. The sorghum, definitely new. And the Alpine Strawberries, also new. So a lot of new things going into the garden this year. It is early enough for you guys to still order seeds if you want to try something new. Also, I'm not expecting you to try out all the new seeds that I'm trying this year, like the Llama Beans, which is also a first for me. But even if you try 1 or 2 new things, keeps the garden interesting and give you something to look forward to besides the regular old standbys like squash. That's it for today. Please subscribe. Please post your questions below. Please click the bell at the top right hand so you'll be notified whenever there's an update. I am doing a blog this year for the first time, and it's called From Seed to Harvest. I started it on the first day of spring, and it's going to go through until the last day of summer. And what I'm basically doing is showing you guys everything, the whole process, the whole 9 of what I go through to get my garden ready in the spring, and what I grow and how I grow it, which is the reason why you see it's still in a bit of disarray right now, because I'm in the process of making the changeover. My garden looks the way it does because I garden year round, and when I'm outside in the wintertime, I'm not thinking about the appearance of the garden. I'm thinking about doing what I have to do and getting out of the cold. So every spring I have quite a bit to do, and that's the reason why these pots are looking the way they are. At any rate, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. I am the Frugal Gardener, and remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Have a great day.